right here, and today we're going to be talking about the soul. Um, yes, your soul, but the movie Soul too. And this is going to be kind of review, just everything about the soul, your soul in the movie Soul. Now that might be a little confusing. So let's get into it. I have no idea why I'm that extra. I'm gonna work on it. But anyway, for the version, the main character of the movie, he is a musician, and he's doing like a 9 to 5 job, which working with students and things of that. He's been a teacher, a music teacher. He's not being fulfilled in that because that's not his passion and dream. So he finally gets a break. He finally gets a big music gig, and he dies before he could do it. So he sees the light, and he's walking up to it, and he just having a hard time believing that he's dead. So he's on a mission to get back to Earth. So he pretty much turns back around, and trying to avoid to go to the light, he ends up in a dimension with the baby souls. And a lot of these things it's gonna be kind of repetitive from my last videos, but go with it just in case you haven't watched those videos. And this is about the soul. So so he's in the realm of the dimension with the baby souls, and the baby souls are choosing their soul plan. And basically a soul plan is where the higher self, your you, chooses the experience and the lessons and the things that you're gonna go through here on Earth. So if you're gonna love music, if you're gonna be an artist, if you're gonna be a seamstress, a fashion designer, the you're gonna choose your family members and all those things. The way the kid version of it, they made it like a baby soul, and you go there, you go there, you go go to this place and see what's your passion, what you're good at, what's gonna excite you. And to a certain degree, it's kind of accurate. I mean, there's really no such thing as baby souls, because our souls and spirits are two different things. So our soul is your higher self. It's your smarter self. It's your you that goes through the different lifetimes. That's your basically your higher self. And so with your spirit is more of the person in this physical body in this lifetime. Um, so when you do transition, your soul and your spirit aligns. And so that's kind of where that holy trinity, mind, body, soul thing. So back to it, back to the movie. So the baby souls are choosing their gifts and things like that. And he finds his way into that dimension. And he run into this baby soul 22 that he has to mentor. Really, he's just trying to get back to Earth. He's really not trying to mentor. And a soul is genderless, so I know that she kind of has this feminine, like, baby voice. And I feel like they really just wanted to for us to distinguish the two, like to be able to know that this is a grown man speaking, this is him speaking, and this is the baby speaking. So they run into, well, the baby soul is intrigued now, like, oh, you're not trying to get me to go to Earth. You're not trying to persuade me to go to Earth, because a lot of the mentors before him that was trying to help 22 get to Earth, she was refusing, like, nope, I'm not doing it, I'm afraid, nope, I don't have a passion, nope, I'm not doing it. So since he wasn't really trying to mentor her, he was just trying to get back to heaven. It intrigued her. So she ends up taking him to this guy who's still alive, but he astral projects because he silences his mind. He meditates. He understands the real meaning of earth, and so he's able to go and come back, which we all actually can. But and then I also like the accuracy of it. Like they made him kind of like the weird guy, and those are the people we look at here on earth and be like, ooh, they're kind of weird or whatever, but and those are the smart ones, their higher self that really knows. But back to the movie. So she takes him to this guy who is actually still alive, but he's astraling. Astraling, is that a word? Go with it. He's projecting himself into that dimension. Knows that in the thin area where the veil is thin, you can go and come back, which is actually accurate. So the soul, the baby soul, and the guy's soul fall back to earth, and he ends up going into a cat, and she ends up going into his body, and he's on a mission to get through this gig, get to this gig. And the whole time though, like him being in that cat, he learns a lot about himself, a lot how others see him. And then this soul learns a lot of lessons about actually being here in the human form. And it's not so bad, it's not so scary. And basically the point of being here on earth. Pause on the movie real quick and I guess get into the accuracy of it. So this might sound repetitive, but go with it just in case you haven't watched my Heaven movie and things like that, because this is specifically about the soul. So my little disclaimer, quick plug, go watch the Heaven video, leave a comment, comment, subscribe. When you're on the other side, you decide your soul plan. You choose your soul family. You choose your lessons in life that you're going to go through. And unfortunately, sometimes we have to deal with karmic lessons, things that we've done in our lifetime, our past lives, we have to pay it forward. And that doesn't necessarily mean in a bad way, because maybe you need to grasp the concept of compassion and forgiveness and love. So it might seem like a tough lesson to learn when really it's just going to evolve you into a higher level of heaven. So you decide as a soul, like I'm going to go through this, I'm going to go through this. For example, I'm just going to be naming some traumatic experiences or lessons that we choose to learn to help us grow and evolve us so we can get to a higher level of heaven. And I'm going to explain why we choose sometimes those things. For example, abuse as a child, we choose that because maybe we need to learn forgiveness. We need to learn to overcome traumatic experience and maybe to help others lost souls that experience that traumatic event. Or addiction, you may have in your last life with your soul family, your parents may have been the addicts and things, and then you don't show compassion, you were judgmental, you were mean, and so this lifetime you choose to have the addiction so you could understand compassion and growth and love and things like that, so you could evolve to a higher level of heaven. Change, some people don't like change, but really changing on this earth, going through changes, is growth. And sometimes that's what we need to get to a higher level of heaven and understanding and compassion and love and all those things. So back to the soul plan. So we choose, like in the movie they had where the baby souls, you're going to have anxiety, you're going to do this, you're going to be a musician, that's the cutesy way of it, but it's kind of accurate. The soul meets a guy who astral projects. Um, he knows that if you go to the thin go to a level where the veil from earth, and that's almost like the fourth dimension, is thin, you're able to go and come back. So when the soul, the baby soul and him fall back down to earth, she falls into his body and he falls into a cat, and he learns about compassion. He learns how everyone in the world see him. He learns how to communicate with his mom, and he gives her the opportunity to show him love, show him understanding, show him compassion. I'm also going to be skipping back and forth from the movie into real life. And sidebar, we can reincarnate into an animal. We choose it. So it's not like a karmic situation, a bad karmic situation, like you was this awful human being, so now you come back to this earth as a dog or a cat. No, you choose it because you never know. Like maybe you in your past life you were this wealthy person, but you wasn't compassionate, you didn't help, you didn't do anything, and you want to learn unconditional love no matter the circumstances or things like that. So I did appreciate that when he went back into the cat, he learned lessons that's going to get him into a higher level of heaven. Okay, back to the movie. So I like that they talked about the soul, because I know soul and spirit get used, those two words get used interchangeably. Is that interchangeably? I'm really going to have to work on this because this is starting to get embarrassing. I know people use it like they switch it, like it's no difference. So I'm going to try to explain the difference. So with the spirit is, yes, it is your soul, but your spirit is the being that you are here in this human form. Because you know, in other dimensions, like in heaven, you don't eat, but in this form, in this body, you do eat. You get to experience things in this earthly realm. You know, music, learning these hardship and lessons and things, and then your soul is the eternal being. It's the one that's lived its past lives. It's the one that it's the true you. It shows, you know, the compassion and things of that sort. So, and that's where that Holy Trinity comes into play: mind, body, soul, mind, body, spirit. Mind, body, soul. I'm really tearing this up. So I did like where they met the weird guy, and that in the lower dimension. Remember how I told you how, well, I'm just gonna speak as if I didn't tell you, but in a previous video I talked about the fourth dimension where the lost souls were. Like when you don't want to go into the light, this is where you end up. And I thought it was cute how they done it, like had the lost souls look kind of scary, when really in reality that fourth dimension is scary. So, and then they did try to convey that, but it's actually scarier. So the fourth dimension is where the lost souls are, where, you know, evil demonic beings could be there, souls that don't want to go into the light because they're afraid they're going to go to hell, or closed-minded souls. Just it's a lost plane that you don't want to be in. And but when you are alive and you astral project and things like that, you can go to that dimension, which is where the weird guy, that's how, because he was still alive, but he could still be in that dimension, which is actually accurate, because if you meditate and things like that, you can go there. The baby soul took him to go meet with the guy to get them back on earth. So I like the accuracy. You have to go watch it because it is on point. I also saw a lot of negative comments about the movie, and I know everyone is entitled to their own opinions, their own beliefs. Just remember, there's like four main levels to heaven, and of course there's levels in between the levels, but like the lowest level is a level where lost souls are, that dark plane, souls that wasn't forgiving, souls that were judgmental, souls that have inflexible beliefs. Like, and I'm only going to use this as an example because this is what I know. So, like, judgmental Christians. Oh, you're gay, you're going to hell. Oh no, God is this, like, and you can't. If you are a medium, a psychic, that's not of God. You're going to hell. Like, just so judgy. It's not coming up off love. Like, you can be trapped in that lowest level of heaven, and then you have your intermediate, which is where you can go when you transition, but you can still come back to earth. That's where you go to rehab, doctor, to go to get better in this realm. Like, let's say if you had a traumatic life, you had cancer or things like that, you go to this hospital, you learn to get better, and then you elevate. And then you have the highest realm, the celestial realm, where you've learned your lessons on earth, you gave love, you shown love, you mastered your purpose, and you're this happy soul, and you're there. So that was just a breakdown of heaven, and those are like the core, because there's in betweens and stuff like that. I wish they kind of would have went into that in the movie, but I get it. It's kid version, and they were trying to squeeze everything into one. So just remember, if it's not coming up off love, if it's not based off love, then you might need to reevaluate your beliefs and who you are, because when you transition, you're really gonna hate that you done that. So I'm not saying you have to change your beliefs, because you don't have to do that either. Just remember to think about love, and if someone else's beliefs, if these movies is different than your beliefs, have an open mind. Like, oh well, that was a good movie. I don't believe in that, but great movie. You just want to keep an open mind. So overall, I really enjoyed the movie. I really loved the movie. It was really accurate, kid version, kid friendly, um, but still really good. I enjoyed it. I cried throughout the whole thing. I think I mainly cried because it was almost like validating my experience. Not that I need the validation, but you know, I appreciate it. So I cried the entire time. I was real emotional, real sensitive, like, but so I recommend watching it. And like I said, if it doesn't fit your beliefs, that's okay. That's okay. Because remember what I said, if it's out of love, it's right. You're right. The movie, right. And when you start coming across as judgmental, that's wrong, that's this, that's that, that's lowering your vibrations, and that's not going to get you to a higher level of heaven. My own personal opinion, I wish it would have showed more of um, the soul plan, and like soul families and ties and things of that sort. I wish that the main character, when he transitioned, he would have had, I wish they would have showed like a family member helping him transition, because you don't transition alone. You don't come to earth alone. You it's a real thought out process. So that was my only, and I don't even want to say negative, it's just my only, I wish they would have done. But you guys go watch the movie, go watch my previous videos, like, comment, and subscribe.
That's all I think about. From the moment I wake up in the morning to the moment I fall asleep at night, I was born to play. It's my reason for living.